So a big potential 4 frames here, particularly for Carrington. As I say, if he can win, then he goes to 6 points. Trump would have to beat Ford to overtake him.
The first frame, Stuart Carrington to break.
I guess Kenny's just got to put to the back of his mind what's just happened, just focus on this match. It's a huge match for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And all he can do is try and do his part of the job and try and win. And also, from Jimmy Robertson's point of view, there's still a little bit of an incentive for him. He doesn't want to finish bottom of the group. He wants to try and finish second or possibly third. Or second or third, because it's extra points, it's extra money, and that will go towards his ranking as well. So there's plenty to play for both players, but obviously for Stuart Carrington there is a lot more at stake.
Yeah, it was a strange match he played actually against Tom Ford. He did have a century, but either side of that he was pretty scrappy.
Yeah, I thought he competed well, even though, you know, he was helped by Tom Ford in that match, but I thought he competed well in the scrappy frames. That, you know, he won those 2 scrappy frames and then made a nice century along the way. I mean, he would be aware. Tom Ford, you don't know sometimes which Tom Ford is going to show up, but against, as we see this nice opening red from Stuart Carrington, you know, anything can happen in the last match, of course, between Ford and Trump.
Stuart Carrington 1.
I think what Stuart Carrington wants to do here is try and win this match, put a bit of pressure on Judd Trump in that last match, and then see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, as ever, we've sort of got the slide rules out to work it all out, but say this was a draw, then Tom Ford could still win the group, because if he beat Trump, he'd be the winner. So it is all up in the air, which is how we like it, of course.
I think that's the great thing about this format, David. You know, I know it's short and quick, but a lot of players, obviously, they love the longer session matches, but I think this is exciting, you know, for the players. Well, that's a great escape for the players, and indeed for the spectators who are watching at home. You know, that every match means something, you know, to the players. So they're playing for something. There's no real dead rubbers, even though, okay, Jimmy Robbins can't win the group, but this isn't a dead rubber because he is competing for something. So it's great when it goes down to the last match as well, isn't it? It is exciting.
Yeah, I think this is the perfect tournament to start the season, actually, because coming into the first phase, all the players guaranteed 3 matches. And obviously now we're in the second stage, the money's gone up, the pressure's gone up. That was a chance to get in for Carrington.
One.
Yeah, Jimmy Robertson purposely going into the pack with the cue ball, but was hoping to hit the left hand side of the pack, so he could have been on the pink into the left centre. He's left with a, well, he probably won't take this black on because it's too difficult, very low percentage shot. So you see where he trying to eye up where he can put the cue ball, make it as difficult as possible for his opponent.
He fought back well against Trump. He was 2-0 down, being outplayed, but battled well to get the draw, but then just sort of didn't show up really against Tom Ford. He didn't really threaten much in that match, lost 3-0.
He's a very streaky player, isn't he, Jimmy Robertson? I do like watching him play. You know, he's fast and furious, and we'll never forget that win a couple of seasons ago on the European Masters, his first ranking tournament, his only ranking tournament win, but likeable lad, Jimmy Robertson.
Mark Allen's won the first frame on table 2. That's a straight shootout with Ricky Walden. If it's a draw, though, Walden at the moment's made the high break, so it could be that that's how it's determined.
He's got to be careful here, Jimmy. If he rolls into the reds, just above the black, he's got to... Well, he's decided to play a different shot. Not going for the red, but has he left the bottom red of the pack here? I think it's potable, you know. Well, it's not the best shot he's played. Let's have a look. Yeah, is that red potable? Well, you see him maybe touching the other red, so I think it's on. Looks on from the back of the pocket, but maybe it isn't. Well, maybe the fact that it's touching from that angle, it looks on, doesn't it? But maybe from the other angle, from where Stuart Carrington is looking, the fact that they're touching, it's not potable.
Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah. One.
Well, that's a wonderful pot, close to the side cushion. Probably should have been a little bit closer if you were going to sort of be a bit critical towards Jimmy Robertson, but still an excellent pot and not a bad little kiss to stay on the black.
Came through a very tough group. It included
8.
Jordan Brown, the Welsh Open champion. He drew with him 2-2. Michael Judge, back on the tour after 10 years, very experienced. Beat him 3-1. And Dwayne Jones from Wales 3-0. So did well to come through that group.
Nine.
He's been in 2 ranked semi-finals, including at the end of last season, the Gibraltar Open. Like a lot of players sort of in the middle of the rankings, he's looking to make that next step up, which of course Jordan Brown did by spectacularly winning the Welsh Open last season.
Yeah, he's got a good all-round game, hasn't he? I mean, as I said with Phil earlier commentating, and he played his first match. And, you know, he's one of these streaky type of players, a bit like Jimmy Robertson in a way, but you know, he'll beat a joint killer, won't he? You know, he's one of those players. He beat one of the top players in the game and have one good tournament, and then might go missing them for 3 or 4 tournaments.
That's right, and if you're losing early rounds,
16.
well, certainly the first round, you don't get any points, any money, so you're not going to make any progress. He actually won the Junior Pot Black when he was a teenager at the Crucible. Beat a young Anthony McGill
21.
in the final there, so it was a great taste of the big time at a young age, just 15.
$22.
I don't think he's played that shot particularly well. Wanted a better angle on the brown. I think he was contemplating maybe potting the brown and maybe going into the pack of reds off one cushion.
Table 2, Mark
68.
Allen going really well here. He's going to be 2-0 up against Ricky Walden, who
69.
just made 3 centuries in 3 frames against Fergal. So Allen, he's 1 frame away from winning the group. Ricky Walden, if he can fight back for the draw, it comes down to the high break, which he at the moment is holding.
75.
Break ends at 75.
Allen 75 and the frame.
So Allen, the big favourite now, 2-0 up.
24.
Now this is important when he puts this red. Comparatively leaves a nice angle on one of the ball colours here. Oh, just about.
25.
And he's got a nice angle. Possibly go into the pack of reds off maybe the yellow. Not quite sure the angle on the brown, but definitely good angle off the yellow. It's a little bit more difficult the yellow, but let's see what he plays here. Playing the yellow, he's got to go into that left hand side of the pack of reds. Yeah, a little bit more difficult, a little bit. Oh, hold on, the yellow's not finished yet. Oh my goodness. Well, how do you like those apples, David?
Well, I tell you what, if he wins the group tonight, we'll look back on that.
27.
Because that could be huge if he goes on to win the frame. Wow.
How did it pass by the red on the ball cushion into the pocket? Wow.
Well, there can only just have been room. Wow.
And he's got a nice angle when he pots this red. He's going to split up the pack of reds and the pink. Try and get on maybe blue here, or maybe stay on the black, see what he plays, but wants to bring the other reds into play. That's not bad.
28.
Could have played that harder. Yeah, it was pretty straight on the pink, but this is probably the
34.
shock that could win him this opening frame. If this red goes into the left centre pocket and he gets on the pink or black, I feel he has to win the frame from this position. No, he's missed it. There's a bit of pressure on that,
Stuart
and he's left it
Carrington,
as well.
34.
So chance for Jimmy Robertson.
Yeah, and this is the thing with flukes. You only really find out in due course how significant they are. And he didn't really make much from the luck he had on the yellow.
Stuart Carrington, 1. Six. Seven.
I think when he pots this red,
14.
it may release another red into the left corner pocket.
15.
He's coming around to have a look at that red now. I'm sure it pots into the left corner. If it doesn't, it definitely pots into the right centre pocket. Oh, he's a little bit short with the cue ball. That was played a little tentatively.
22. $23.
The two reds below the pink are certainly not potable into the corner pockets. The left one is maybe potable into the left centre, certainly available up into the yellow pocket. So he may play on the red and balk here. But a bit more difficult now to try and pot this and get topside
26.
of the balk line here. Yeah, that's what he's coming down to have a look at. I think the left red will pot into the left centre pocket, but this is not going to be straightforward at all. Well, he couldn't have played that any better, David. I must say, he's got a lovely angle on the blue here. He can bring those two reds into play. A little delicate shot, doesn't have to be too hard, and played it lovely. Got a little kiss off the pink, but nice shot.
32.
Yeah, I've always thought he's got a really nice way about the table about him, Jimmy Robertson. Just now and again, he sort of throws in unforced error.
33.
His downfall a little bit today at times. May just be a bit straight on the blue. Well, dead straight actually.
Now
38.
he's done as well as he could there to force the angle. It's a good break so far. Needs to slow up that cue ball.
39.
Once again, straight on the blue. Has he got a slight angle? May be able to force it again. He's having a look. Now this is the big shot. Pot the yellow. But there's pressure
44.
on it. Just screw back about 6 or 8 inches for the green. This is frame ball, basically. Ooh, well.
46.
That's what you call adrenaline.
Yeah, nothing's ever simple, is it? So he's got the rest out for this green. Feels like he's done all the hard work, still not got to negotiate a few more though. Yeah, that's the one that stays out.
Tap.
Just overdid it from yellow
Jimmy
to green.
Robertson, 46.
So he leads by 12.
Well, you can't believe that yellow he played. I mean, he hit it, struck it really well, but screwed it back too far. It's made that green a little bit more difficult than he would have liked. Not the best shot from Stuart Carrington, but well, this is a shot. If you're going to take it on, you've got to fully commit to it. But you've got to play this with a slower pace than normally you would like. He didn't attempt the pot. I don't blame him for that. He's played a good safety shot. He's got a good snooker and a nice little tap on the table from his opponent. Good sportsmanship there. got to be careful here. He doesn't hit the black. Yeah.
Foul.
There's always possibility.
Jimmy Robertson 7.
That'll be going back.
Yeah, and he's got to be careful he doesn't do it again, because if he
Actually-
does, he'll need a snooker. Paul Collier will put them back. Not saying this has been a long event, but Paul Collier went on holiday in the middle of
Middleweight
it.
back, no better idea.
But he's back for the end.
Yeah, he went on a cruise around the world, didn't he?
It's just a bit that way, isn't it?
I think he bumped into Michael Palin there as well.
Well, he's certainly refreshed. He'll be here next week as well, of course, with the British Open. The
Should be
cue
a
ball
little
is
bit-
back spot on. The green just a little bit away from the top cushion. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more.
Right, Jimmy?
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very good hit, and he's got, well, he's got a nice little kiss on the brow, and he snookered Jimmy Robertson. And although he has a 19-point lead, Jimmy Robertson, he would feel whoever puts this green and gets on the brown could win the frame. So the 19 points here doesn't really count for much. He's got to be very careful here.
Now then, Mark Allen has got the job done. Amazing. Ricky Walden had 3 centuries in 3 frames against Fergal O'Brien. He couldn't have felt any better going into this match. Looks like he's barely had a shot. So Mark Allen is going to be coming back tomorrow for the final day. And if he can make a century
83.
here, it will be his 500th of his career. So that will be a little landmark.
84.
He'd be the 12th player to make that many. And it will be in the frame that's got him through to the last group. It's on a break of 90 with that pink. Terrific stuff from Allen. You know, I know that he'd been watching Ricky, but
90.
he's just gone out and done the job himself.
92.
Always looked like it would come down to the match between those two, and so it's proved.
95.
I know he's aware of the centuries because he said his dad had been keeping tab of them, so he knows that brown and blue, for, as I say, a little landmark, 500 career
99.
centuries, and plenty more to come, I'm sure. Well, what a way to win the group.
104.
Emphatic in the end, in the last match.
110.
Clearance of 117. Well, in fact, it's
110
110 because the black
match.
stayed out. It doesn't
Mark
matter.
Allen.
Mark Allen beats Ricky
Cheers,
Walden
Mark.
3-0.
Cheers, Ricky.
And he's the group winner. Of course, there is another match there, though. Peter Lyons and Fergal O'Brien.
Yeah, this is one of these shots. If you're going to play the up and down with the green, you got to avoid the double kiss. Just be careful here for Stuart Carrington. He's got to avoid that double kiss. Yeah, that's not too bad. Played it wide enough. And got a good green as well. So still in the balance this frame. You can see the left hand side of the green. He's playing it back up into balk. Oh, he's played it nicely. Excellent shot. This is one of these shots, David. You could possibly play the long double, but hit it hard enough. Play the green down towards this bottom right hand corner pocket, right of the black. That's what he's looking at. There you see it. But if he hits it hard enough, even if it goes close, or if he misses it by a bit, the green will end up in the middle of the right hand side cushion. But if it goes in, it could be on the brown, so it's not a bad choice, this. Let's see. It's going close. It's going very close. I think he's got the cover, you know. I think he's been lucky. But have a look where the cue ball is, you know. If it had gone in, he's perfectly on the brown. So it was a well worked out shot. Okay, he's been a bit fortunate. Sometimes you've got to rely on a little bit of luck when you're playing a shot like that. Well, that's just a fabulous shot. Excellent shot from Jimmy Robertson. Well deserved.
It's turning into some battle on this green. Remember, Stuart Carrington has got 3 points so far, so if he can win the match, goes to 6, and it means Judd Trump would have to beat Tom Ford to top the group. First things first, though, this first frame. Oh,
Foul. And a miss.
could be serious. Not quite a free ball, I don't think.
Jimmy Robertson 4. Back here.
But it's going back, and this time you've got to hit it.
Yeah, and it's not easy. It's far enough away from this top cushion behind the black. It's quite close to the black.
Okay.
It's easily missed, this one. May play it off one cushion. No, he's gone off 2 again.
If he doesn't hit it, he needs a snooker.
Foul. And a miss.
Well, a missed call, but I don't think it can be a miss.
Sorry, I can't go on a miss. Just a foul.
Maybe he's just on holidays for too long, Paul Collier. Should have been back a little bit earlier.
Well, he very quickly corrected himself. Yeah, and snooker required. So no miss. Listen, it's been a long 4 weeks. Good time to make an error.
Yeah, of course, when you need a snooker, no miss can be called, so. Jimmy Robertson will be very pleased with that snooker he played. Proved very fruitful indeed. Didn't want to play the double there, Stuart Carrington.
3.
So he needs 1 4-point snooker. And, you know, the way the pink and black are, it's not too bad, but a little bit awkward, the cueing here.
Yeah, that should be it now. Jimmy Robertson just concentrate on this pot. Remember, both Trump and Ford are still in with a chance of winning the group. And they'll be up, of course, last
9.
after this one. Jimmy Robertson is only one of the 3 who can't win it, but he can still climb the table, get more money. And after quite an edgy battle,
15 and the frame.
he has won the first frame. All came down to that safety duel on the green that ultimately Jimmy Robertson won. So Jimmy Robertson leads by a frame to 0. Tomorrow, Group 2 on Matchroom Live on Table 2. 1-0 to Jimmy Robertson. Stuart Carrington, Judd Trump and Tom Ford are the 3 players who can still win this group. But it's Robertson leading this match. So Carrington needs to win the last 3 frames. If he does, he'll go to 6 points. And then really he needs a draw between Trump and Ford. There's a lot to ask for there, but he can only look after his own work by trying to put himself into the position where he can still be the group winner. But that involves now winning all 3 frames. Peter Lyons and Fergal O'Brien have just started out on table 2.
Foul and a miss. Jimmy Robertson 4. Back.
Well, while Paul puts this back, why don't I give our question another outing, our quiz question, to win 2 VIP tickets to the Champion of Champions final in November. You get backstage passes and the best seats in the house. And the question is, who is the only player to have made a maximum break in the Champion of Champions? Who's the only player to have made a maximum in the Champion of Champions? Just tweet your answer to the official Championship League Twitter account. That's at CL Snooker, at CL Snooker.
Thanks.
We'll announce the winner during the final tomorrow night. All the best of luck.
A little shrug of the shoulders from Jimmy Robertson. Didn't really want to leave this long red for Stuart Carrington. That looked like body language would suggest that that sort of veered offline. You see when he comes up off the cue here, yeah, cue going to the right, that's suggestion that the ball, cue ball, went to his right. And he's left a chance here for Jimmy Robertson.
1.
And that was a good shot. Had to force the angle, a little bit of right hand side to get top side of the blue. We saw from the previous shot that the black does pot into this bottom left hand corner pocket. Jimmy Robertson just checking the spot that should he pot the blue and the red and then get on the black, will it re-spot on its own spot? He's contemplating a few shots ahead here.
Six. 7. 12.
Well, needed to get the rest out in the end because he missed
Jimmy
the
Robertson
green
12.
with the rest, and he was clearing up in frame 1, although he did go on and win it. But this is another one he's missed with the rest. Surprisingly, they've been around a while, these two, but they've only played each other once before on the tour. That was in qualifiers for the World Championship 2016. Robertson won 10-5. He had 3 centuries. But that's the only meeting prior to today.
a pretty good shot from Stuart Carrington. Oh, okay. You feel maybe slightly fortunate at the fact that he's knocked a couple of reds over both left and right corner pocket, and he's covered both of them. Well, he was playing to get the cue ball down into that position behind the green, and he duly managed it. So he's trying to rest the cue ball here in the top cushion behind the red. And he's played that nicely. He has left a possible cut here for Stuart Carrington. The red above the black spot, just slightly to the left. He is on that. That's a cutback, but quite treacherous, really. And that's why he's avoiding taking it on. I think we can put the kettle on, David. We might be waiting a little bit of a time here now that there's a couple of reds up towards that balk end of the table.
Thanks, I'll have one sugar, please. Just on table 2, Peter Lyons is going to win the first frame against Fergal O'Brien. The maths there is pretty simple. Because Fergal hasn't won a frame yet, if that's a draw, or obviously if Lyons wins, then Lyons finishes third. So he only needs 2 frames. He's already won the first of them. And a big break here for Peter Lyons. He made a century today already and could make another one here. I was commentating with him yesterday. He had to commentate on Oliver, his son, and at one point Oliver
95.
had a chance for a maximum. He was going well. He had 10 reds, 10 blacks, but in the end just missed a tricky red to the middle. But that would have been something
96.
special if Peter had got to commentate on his son making a maximum. He'll be back tomorrow with myself, Phil and Ken for the final day.
I think he's played quite well, you know. He's in patches, Peter Lyons. He's made a nice century already, as you said, and this is going to be another one.
Yeah, he's someone who absolutely loves snooker, and of course went to Q school, got his place back in his early 50s. Very, very impressive.
103.
And he's been around before they invented the wheel as well, so you know it's even more impressive. He won't mind me saying it. I'm sure he says worse about me, but
107.
I'm very impressed the way he's played. Loves the game, Peter.
$112.
Yeah, very classy guy and a very classy break this. And as I say, he only needs 1 more frame. He's guaranteed third.
118.
O'Brien, one of the most determined campaigners on the tour, but yet to win a frame today. Although he's come up against some seriously informed players.
125 on the
Red
first
on the other
frame.
table goes
Big
in the
score.
middle. That's a great
Right.
one from Jimmy Robertson, and a great break from Peter Lyons to lead 1-0 over there. But Robertson in with a really good red.
Well, he certainly got hold of that cue ball. He's actually overscrewed it,
8.
if that was possible. I don't think he's on this red. He's had a quick, anxious look at it. He's not on it, and he may need to use the rest again. He's missed a couple of shots with the rest. He's certainly not prolific with the rest, so... And he won't be very confident of knocking this one in, but he doesn't have to do too much work with the cue ball here. Just drop it off the side cushion for the black. Just about.
Hey.
The opening red in this break was an absolute little cracker into that very acute angle of a right centre pocket.
And in this session on table 2, had 7
16.
frames, 5 century breaks. Incredible standard. Ricky Walden had 3. Mark Allen, Peter Lyons one each so far.
17.
And Jimmy Robertson with a terrific chance to make a frame-winning break here. This is more how he battled back against Trump. As I say, against Tom Ford, he just, for whatever reason, couldn't get going. But this is more like it from Robertson. Of course,
24.
regular practice partner of our colleague Mark Davis on the south coast.
$25.
Yeah, when he gets going, he's very fluent, very fast, you know, and he can rack up the points very, very quickly. He doesn't mess about. It's been an excellent break so far.
31.
We won't have to worry about the reds that are up the bottom end of the table. Just concentrate on these reds
32.
around the pink now. He's played the wrong shot for me there. He tried to force the angle around on the black, but
39.
the pink was really the shot into the left centre. He drops the pink in. He's got a choice of 3 reds. He's trying to force something. He still has a red up into the green pocket, but a bit more difficult this one. Yeah.
Jimmy Robertson 39.
Stuart Carrington's back is firmly against the wall here. 55 points in arrears. No, and he has to win this match to have a chance of qualifying. What can he muster? Good opener.
1.
He's going to have to pull out another good pot to keep this break going. Green into the top right hand corner pocket. Pressure on this. This is missable. It's very missable.
Stuart Carrington 1.
I think that's the thing about this format. Carrington's under more pressure in this match because he can still win the group. It's unusual because obviously most snooker is knockout where it's the same stakes for everybody.
1.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? I mean, Carrington coming into the match has a chance of winning the group. If he loses this match, he could finish up bottom of the group.
6.
It's not a great shot from Jimmy Robertson. Needs this red. Good shot. Very good pot, that one.
7.
Quick look at the scores. 61 points in front. Still 67 on the table, so black will be enough to leave his opponent needing a snooker.
Yeah, and that means Stuart Carrington, barring snookers, cannot now win the group, and it's going to come down to Judd Trump and Tom Ford.
14.
I'm sure the two boys are watching this match as well, very eagerly to see what the outcome is, because this is probably
15.
the best outcome for both players who are coming up after this match.
Yeah, well, listening to Tom after he played his second match, I don't think he thought he could still win the group. But if you're listening, Tom, you can. If you beat Trump, because that's what it's going to come down to after this match.
Jimmy Robertson 15.
Stuart Carrington had to win it, and he's not going to do that because there's only 2 frames left. The best he can do is a draw, so it comes down to Trump or Ford to decide who takes the group. Jimmy Robertson leads 2-0. So it's 2-0 to Jimmy Robertson. Stuart Carrington cannot now win this group.
The third frame.
Best he can do is a
Stuart
point,
Carrington
which
to
would
break.
take him to 4 points. That's what Judd Trump already has. Tom Ford has 3. So the way it's shaping up, Trump would need a draw there to win the group. Ford would need to beat him. We're going to have to remember next week at the British Open, it's not a league. We've been here 4 weeks. It's a knockout event. If you win, you go through. If you lose, you're on your way home.
May take this red on, you know. Could play it up into the top left-hand corner or into the middle. Yeah, he's played it into the middle. Kissed the blue purposely to try and hold the cue ball, and he's done well. Good shot that. Purposely played the full ball kiss on the blue. Hold the cue ball for a ball colour, and he's nicely on the green.
Sure.
Pop one of these reds, get the black back on the spot.
4.
Coming around to have a look, does the pink pot into this bottom left-hand corner pocket? And if it does, he could play on either pink or black. He's played for black, and this will certainly help him in his quest to try and win the frame from this visit.
Yeah, and as you say, he could yet finish second in the group.
12.
And also he's looking to end the day on a high with a good performance here going into next week's British Open.
13.
Done well to come through the first phase. He was in Joe Perry's group. He had to beat Joe in the last match, and he did, 3-1.
Yeah, it's a pretty good attempt. Just didn't get enough top spin on the cue ball. Really wanted to be going into the middle of that, the bunch from the black. Sort of hit the right hand side as we look. Oh, that red is gonna poke his nose over this left centre
Robertson
pocket.
20.
Has he left it, or is the brown gonna cover it? Looks like the brown has covered it. He's being fortunate there, Jimmy.
Well, great red, just slightly overrun for the black though.
Sure.
Yeah, it was a great pot, wasn't it? Sort of forced into having a go at that. And a bit unfortunate he's not on the black. No, he doesn't want to put the black safe here. He's got to try and keep it off the top cushion. Yeah, that's okay.
Stuart Carrington 1.
Meanwhile, Fergal O'Brien has won his first frame of the day to level with Peter Lyons at 1 each. And of course he can still win the match there, Fergal, and finish third. Came off the match after playing Ricky Walden, who had 3 centuries to beat him 3-0. He said, I don't know what all the fuss was about. He said, I'm really quick. But of course he barely had a shot. Just to remind you, after this match it is the decider, Judd Trump against Tom Ford, to decide who comes back tomorrow.
One.
Good opener from Stuart Carrington. They just try and leave the cue ball just beneath the blue spot here for red into the left corner. Coming around to have a look. I think the red right
3.
of the pink spot pots as well into this bottom right hand corner pocket. See, he's got a few reds available after his next colour.
4.
Didn't really want to pot the pink here because that's going to congest things a little bit. Played that nicely.
Ten. Ten. 11.
Toddy might play low on the black there, so you have a nice angle to go into the pack. He's only got 1 available red here after this black. Should get on it, of course, but so he's leaving spitting the pack with just 1 opportunity here.
18.
Some players like to go in a little bit early, even if there are loose reds. This time, Stuart Carrington has waited until all the available reds
19.
have been potted. Now, needs a good split, and it's not always guaranteed off the top cushion. It needs a lot of power, a lot of top spin here. And there's the problem. Now, if you had gone back a few shots ago, you see, when you're playing those
26.
shots, you've got to play them with a lot more pace, a lot more top spin. Whereas if you, a couple of shots ago, had he got low on the black, he'd have straightforward shot in to split the pack open and could have won the frame from that position. He's taking his medicine, played a
26.
good shot, but he'd be disappointed still.
Foul. And a miss. Stuart Carrington 6.
With that shot, the first attempt, they're always going to err on the side of caution. So it's not unusual to see them miss first time. Slight adjustment needed. Got very close
Foul.
actually to the red. Obviously doesn't want to hit them thick because then he's just leaving Carrington in amongst it all.
I'm just wondering, David, could he try and nestle into the bunch? I know they're...
I'm sure the pink was a little bit that way. I don't think it was any further up the table, was it? It was very difficult to
It's got to
clip
come
it.
down a little bit. No, I think it's got to come down. No, it's got to come down towards the spot a little bit.
I don't think it was that far over.
You think it's practice?
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It
yeah.
was.
Maybe down a little bit.
Yeah? Okay.
Still
Thanks.
okay, it's not in the way, but I was just wondering, okay, he's going to play the 2-cushion escape, but even if you nestle into those little bunch of reds there. Oh, he's played that very well. That's an excellent shot. Well played, Jimmy Robertson.
We need that applause button from last year, don't we? He deserved one, that.
Whatever happened to the applause button?
Well, I'm worried about whoever was operating it, because of course we've got crowds back next week, so they're looking for a job.
Well, is he sizing up the pot? He may be forced into having a go at this. I think he is. Oh, he got the dreaded double kiss. Has he left anything? Is there a red onto this bottom right corner pocket? Certainly the red just to the right of the pink spot. The top red of the bunch is certainly potable. There you see it.
Well, what a chance that was to get this one potentially, but misses straight away.
I must admit, I didn't see that coming from Jimmy Robertson, the way he's
What?
played. Well, this is an ample opportunity now for Stuart Carrington. Already 20 points to the good.
7.
Doesn't really have to disturb any reds, I think, though. He's still not entirely happy with that. Would have liked to be a little bit straighter on the red. May have to play a delicate little cannon off the black.
Eight.
He just tried to get into the cue ball and he's overhit it. You can see how much he's putting into this. He's really fighting to try and keep this match alive for himself and try and salvage a draw, because that will guarantee him something from the group. Yeah, he played that well. He held the cue ball as well. He's nicely on the red.
15. 16.
Yeah, of course, in terms of group placings, if he could draw the match, he'd finish ahead of Jimmy Robertson and potentially ahead of Tom Ford. So it's sort of boomeranging around the table, isn't he, Stuart Carrington, with every frame that goes by? Came into the match, could have won the group.
23.
If he loses this match, he could finish bottom, but he could still get second. Everything's up for grabs now, apart from actually winning the group for him.
$24.
Yeah, so potentially, should he win this frame, then the last frame could be worth a couple of thousand to him. So it is. And of course, every pound you earn is a point towards your ranking. They certainly could add up towards the end of the season and can certainly make
30.
a difference. And that's why he's putting everything into this particular break. He knows what's at stake.
This red, and Robertson needs a snooker. Robertson had a good chance himself, didn't he? Missed that red to the
31.
right corner. And that's cost him this frame. So we're going to get one more before we have that group decided between Judd Trump and Tom Ford.
$38.
That
39.
red stops any playing on. You get these little pockets of Britain that are snooker hotbeds, and Grimsby is certainly one of them. That's where Stuart Carrington hails from. So he had a very good grounding, a lot
45.
of opportunities to play when he was young and to improve.
Sorry, 46. $52. $54. $57.
Yeah, and an interesting frame coming up as well. It's almost like a decider.
61.
Who's going to finish bottom of the group? If Stuart Carrington wins it, he could finish second. If he loses it,
66.
he could finish bottom of the group. So, interesting frame ahead.
72.
He's pounced on that surprising Jimmy Robertson miss. And he's fully punished him
79 on the
with
frame.
a very
Stuart
nice
Carrington.
clearance there from Stuart Carrington of 79. So as Ken says, we've got one more very important frame in the overall context of the group coming up. Robertson leading 2-1. Well, neither can win the group, but they're playing for places, and it's Jimmy Robertson
Final
leading
frame. Jimmy
by
Robertson to
2
break.
frames to 1. Remember, coming in, he only had 1 point, but if he can win this frame, he'll have 4. Stuart Carrington at the moment has 3. So if he can win this frame, he'll have 4. Judd Trump and Tom Ford will be the decider for the group. Trump's on 4, Ford on 3, so Trump needs to draw. Ford needs to beat him to win the group. Hopefully all that is clear. This table is changing with every frame that's played. But what Jimmy Robertson will be well aware of is if he loses this frame, he will be last. Remember, it's 1,000 for fourth place, 2 for third, 3 for second, 4 if you win and you come back. Obviously guaranteed money tomorrow. They've already won 3,000 though for getting this far. Hello. Nice.
I'd certainly be happy with that. Lots of open reds, so quite sure he can. Well, maybe you can't play the 2 cushion escape. Well, not easy. Well, not easy to get it safe.
Foul and a miss. Jimmy Robertson 4. Back here. Okay.
There's definite danger here with these reds spread as far wide as they are.
I think under the circumstances he'll be very happy with that. He's covered the red into the left centre with the blue. Don't think there's a pot on into this left corner pocket. So he's had a bit of a result there. Jimmy's shaking his head, can't believe it. He thought he was certainly going to be left some sort of a pot off that. So I'll be trying again up behind the green and brown here. Hasn't got it wide enough. He has left the pot for Stuart Carrington. Will he take it on? The 2 reds. Just having a look at the 2 reds just below the pink. Are they a possible plant into this corner pocket? He hasn't come down to have a look at them just yet. Oh no. Going towards this red here, so he's going to take this red on that's close to the bottom left corner pocket. Big shot this. Oh, great shot, fantastic shot. Purposely played into the red and black to try and develop the black, and it could have worked out a little bit better for him, but still a chance.
Still one each, Peter Lyons, Fergal O'Brien,
8.
but of course that's the last match of the day. They're playing for third and fourth. Mark Allen has won that group, so he'll be back tomorrow. Kyren Wilson and Bai Lang Ning are in his group, plus the winner of this group. And grouped for the group on the other table, Dave Gilbert, Ali Carter, Ryan Day and Chow Yu Peng. So one of those players, plus the winner of this group, will be the champion some point tomorrow night.
9.
Well, this is the big shot for me here, Dave. If he can pot this black and get on a red. He's cleared the black spot. Cue ball could be running away here. He's got to be careful. But priority is to pot the black, of course. He's managed to get a full ball kiss on a red. How's his look? It's not too bad. Red below, close to the pink spot.
16.
Pots into this right corner pocket, and that's 2 reds, 2 blacks. Most importantly, he'll be wanting to win the frame, but the way the position of the reds are, he may concentrate on the blacks here for the time being. It's very early days, of course. He won't be thinking of the maximum just yet. But he's worked this very, very well so far.
$17.
Well, I can't believe that. He's played for the pink into the right centre. Could have pushed through for the black. He's obviously not thinking of the maximum. The frame is more important. I understand it completely. But I thought stay on the black for at least another few shots. What a spoil sport.
Yeah, we're still waiting for the first of the season.
23.
In fact, not had one on the circuit since January. Gary Wilson.
$24.
Now he wished he had stayed on the black. He actually created more problems for himself going for the pink. And now he's not on the black, so he's going to have to pot a long blue here to keep the break going when he's under pressure. Why not stay on the black? Amazing. Sometimes, you know, it's amazing what players see out there. You know, when they're under a bit of pressure, they see a lot more difficulties. It's understandable. We all go through it. Now he's not contemplating of even taking the blue on. He's going to play a safety shot. He's having a look at the blue again. He's going to refuse the blue.
Green ball. Stuart Carrington, 24.
And the funny thing is, you know, if he was practicing, you know, in his club, or he's playing a match in his club or something like that, he would have no hesitation of staying on the black there. For some reason, it's just got it into his head, just playing the pink in the middle, and ended up in the break.
Yeah, he went cautious, I guess, and you know, it's all sort of just ended suddenly. And also the little double kiss on the green has left a chance here.
1.
Well, in this topsy-turvy group, Jimmy Robertson can still finish second. If he wins this frame, he's got a chance to do that.
Well, that was a wonderful opening red to hold for the black.
8.
No hesitation from Jimmy Robertson taking that on.
9.
Now, all the balls are there to try and win the frame and the match from this position. Great shot.
16. $17.
It was awkward
24.
bridging close to that red and left hand side cushion. That's how he didn't get into the cue ball. This red is not as easy as it should be. Still should pot it. Yeah, it's okay.
25.
Having to go up for yellow or brown here. Possibly yellow is probably the better ball. Oh, he's played that nicely. That sort of frees up the blue.
27.
And now he can
28.
take that other red away now when potting this blue, left of the blue. And he's back in prime position here.
$33.
Well, it's in his hands. He's fashioned the chance. Out of nowhere, really.
$34.
There's a little bit of tension out there though. It was perfect a minute ago and now he's going to have to play a mid-distance red. He should have been top side of the blue but ended up straight on that red and now he's going to have to play. When he rolls this blue in a mid-distance red and this red is missable. Now 9 times out of 10 he should get it but
39.
once again a little bit more pressure on this than it should have been. Good shot. Wasn't in the heart of the pocket,
40.
but it went in.
Sure. 47.
Well, he's getting the cue ball clean, but I don't think he cued that as well as he could have. Came off the top cushion pretty softly, but didn't get enough spin on the cue ball. Good recovery. Very good recovery.
48.
Not a bad kiss on the blue because he's got a nice angle to knock the blue in and get close to this red on the left hand side cushion. Could possibly even try and disturb the 2 reds there just above the black. He's got a choice here.
$53.
Well, you can't really do much here, but the main thing is to try and pot this red. Pot the red. Takes another red off the table, so puts him in an even more commanding position. He's 34 points ahead. Might be. You could do 1 or 2 things. Pot the black for the extra 7 points, or try and put a colour safe. He's going to put a brown safe. put him in a more prominent position. But he hasn't put the
Jimmy
brown
Robertson,
safe,
54.
and he hasn't got the snooker, so there's still a glimmer of hope for Stuart Carrington in this frame match.
Yeah, quite a bit potentially rests on this next shot. As long as he doesn't leave Robertson in, then he could find a way back into the frame. There's the difference.
Foul. Jimmy
Well,
Robertson,
he's
4.
gone in off. More importantly, he has left a chance at this red to the left corner, which is all Robertson will need. He's already potted a great red to this pocket in this frame. Here's the in off.
Foul.
So Robertson with his chance then
Jimmy Robertson.
to get to 4 points. And that was nicely in the middle of the pocket. So Stuart Carrington then came into this match still with a chance to win the group. But it looks like he could well finish bottom of the table. It's not guaranteed yet. Depends what happens with Tom Ford and Judd Trump, which is of course the big match coming up. Trump needs a draw, Ford needs a win to secure the last place
7.
in the final group tomorrow.
8.
Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed this match. It's been some good snooker, full of tension, bit of nervousness, but Jimmy Robertson is going to prevail. It's been a good game.
Jimmy Robertson, 8.
It's been,
Further in the match.
as you say, pretty edgy at times, but it is Jimmy Robertson who claims the 3 points. Disappointment for Stuart Carrington. He still had a chance to win this group. He's going to have to wait to see where he finishes in the table. Jimmy Robertson could yet get second. He beat Stuart Carrington 3-1. Coming up, Judd Trump against Tom Ford.